Hi there, Andrew Lessman here with another sneak peek at our Today Special. And our Today Special is one of our most popular products. And obviously, when you hear what it is, you'll understand why. It's our Essential One. And that's where most recommendations when it comes to a nutritional supplement or a dietary supplement, that's usually where they start, with a multivitamin, multimineral, because that's the foundation of all nutrition. In fact, it's the vitamins and minerals in the food we eat that determine whether that food is nutritious or not. Of course, we also like to consider the not so good things that might come with our food, whether it might be too much sugar or too many calories. But what really defines their nutrient levels, or their nutrient levels really defines whether they are healthy, whether they are nutritious. So that's really the foundation of dietary supplementation, because it's been well established by the research, absolutely conclusively established by the research, that our food doesn't contain the nutrients that it used to contain. And I'm not talking about 150 or 200 years ago. I'm talking, if you look at food from the 1970s or 1980s, it was dramatically lower in nutrition or nutrient value than food from the 40s and 50s. And today, far lower than that of the 70s or 80s. So key nutrients are not being received in the food we eat. Plus, our diet has suffered. So we're not eating as much nutritious food as we did a few decades ago. So all of these things are conspiring to deliver us less of the key nutrients we require. And then there are certain nutrients that we just don't get from our diet. Things like vitamin D, and especially if we're vegetarian or vegan, things like vitamin B12, which is virtually impossible to absorb from most supplements, not from ours, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But that's what makes the entire discussion of multivitamin, multimineral research and multivitamin, multimineral supplementation so different with Essential One. It's so different because when you're looking at Essential One, you're not looking at a multivitamin as much as you're looking at individual supplement levels that you would have to spend a great deal to get separately. Vitamin D, B12, vitamins E, gamma-tocopherol, lutein, zeaxanthin, lycopene, things you don't find in other multivitamins. So when you look at our product, it eliminates several individual products that you might have contemplated taking, because it truly gives you the levels of these vitamins and minerals that you seek. And it's one of those Today Specials that I know everyone waits throughout the year for us to do it. Normally, we'll do it in January. We postponed it a little bit to the end of February, and we're doing it as part of a live remote here in Henderson, Nevada, where you get to see where all your products are made. And that gives you another opportunity to appreciate how uniquely we go about what we do. In fact, I moved my company over 20 years ago from Santa Monica to Henderson, Nevada, because the low humidity allowed us to make a wider variety of products without any additives whatsoever. Our products are 100% pure. We add no manufacturing additives. We don't add things to our products to make it easier for us, the manufacturer, whereas most companies, that's not most, all companies do that. They add manufacturing additives that aid them in the manufacture of the product, but they're just things that you end up putting in your body for no reason at all, except it was beneficial to the manufacturer to include them. So there are no additives in my products. They're 100% pure, despite the high potency of our Essential One. Our Essential One will not upset your stomach. You could read the thousands of reviews online for this product. You're not going to see a discussion of an upset stomach. It was specifically designed to be non-acidic, pH neutral, because it's not a big tablet that sits in your stomach and irritates the lining of your stomach, where effectively, when you're taking a multivitamin, multimineral, and you're swallowing a multivitamin, multimineral tablet, you're effectively swallowing a rock. That's not going to be pleasant for anyone's stomach. So what we do is we put an ultrafine powder into a 2-piece capsule. So that ultrafine powder, just like when you put an ultrafine powder into a cup of iced tea or coffee or something like that, we know how quickly that dissolves. It's one of the basic laws of science, that the amount of surface area that you expose directly relates to how rapidly that will go into solution, how easily it goes into solution. That's why our products are so easy on the stomach. That ultrafine powder that's pH neutral, non-acidic, that will not upset even the most sensitive stomach. So everything we do, making it 100% pure, unlike any other multivitamin on the market, making sure you're getting forms that aren't available in other multivitamins, like our methylcobalamin, a form of B12 that is the actual coenzyme form in your body. 99, probably 0.9% of supplements on the market use cyanocobalamin, which liberates trace amounts of cyanide in the body. That's not the way I would deliver B12. Making matters even worse, those supplements that contain B12, they're not protected from gastric pH, the acidity of our stomach, which damages the very fragile molecule of B12. We, of course, protect the B12 so that B12 is going to be available for absorption. So you could go down the list of our product, of all the features of our product, and it makes it unlike any multivitamin in the world. And when you look at just the vitamin D levels, which you'll get today to choose 1,000 or 2,000 IU. We've done that because we've made our CoQ10 available with vitamin D. A number of our products contain a small amount of vitamin D. Some of you take separate vitamin D. So you could tailor our multivitamin to meet everything you're going to be doing in terms of your supplement regime, thereby making it more economical. This supplement might eliminate the separate vitamin D you were taking. Plus, today, we've never done this before. It was exactly, what is it now, 34 years ago that I first introduced CoQ10 in my products. When we introduced CoQ10 in my products, it was 30 milligrams. And back in early 1984, when we first introduced CoQ10, 30 milligrams was considered a very generous dose. Today, I consider the proper dose 200 milligrams. But what I thought, because we don't use additives, we had a little extra space, and it was not easy to accomplish, a little bit of extra space in that capsule. We were able to fit 30 milligrams of CoQ10. So in honor of the 1984 time when we introduced CoQ10, early part of that year, we are reintroducing to many of you an opportunity to try CoQ10, because not everyone tries it. And even though I recommend 200 milligrams as being the appropriate daily intake for CoQ10, 30 milligrams is a nice place, especially when you're getting it with all the other support of a multivitamin. It's a nice opportunity to get a sense of how valuable and what a difference CoQ10 can make in how you feel in terms of how your body produces energy, how your cells go about making that energy that you experience on a daily basis. I've always been someone who preferred going about achieving our best and optimum energy on a daily basis, not via a stimulant, but by doing so in ensuring that each and every one of our cells have all the tools they require to produce the energy that they need. That's what CoQ10 is all about. That's what delivering the proper form of B12 is all about. Otherwise, you're throwing your money away with B12. It will be destroyed in your stomach, it might lose potency in the bottle, and you won't benefit. What good is an ingredient, even if it's in the capsule or in the tablet, if it's not going to be available benefiting your body? That's why we do what we do with our B12, and no one else makes B12 as we make B12. So you get the natural coenzyme form, not the typical cyanocobalamin form, and it is protected. You're getting our special vitamin D. You could read the reviews on our separate vitamin D, and you're getting the same exact vitamin D blended into our Essential One. It's 100% pure. If you want to read the list of frightening additives, simply read the labels of the leading multivitamins that start with artificial colors. Artificial colors have no place in a daily vitamin, daily mineral. This is supposed to be the one foundational healthy decision that we all make, or we all should make. Even I'll show quotes during my shows from the Journal of the American Medical Association talking about the one non-inarguable thing, the one thing we can't argue about in terms of basic supplementation, is that a multivitamin, multimineral is a sound foundation upon which to build our nutritional health. Our diets are challenged now, and it's difficult, even if we eat healthy, to be certain that we're getting all the nutrients we need and require. But that daily multivitamin is that daily insurance. If you read the research on vitamin D, you would never want to be without the kinds of vitamin D levels we have in this product, or the research on B12, or the research on the B complex, or the research on lutein, lycopene, and zeaxanthin. I'm not aware of any other leading multivitamin in the world that contains all three. We contain all three, and we've had had all three for probably almost 15 years. So we are a multivitamin unlike any other multivitamin. Best of all, despite the high potency, it will never upset even the most sensitive stomach, and it's pennies a day. You only take one capsule a day. It's, I think, a little bit more than 20 cents per day. And that will eliminate, in all likelihood, the need of a separate vitamin D, the need of a separate B12, the need of a separate B complex. So you get all of the tools you need to really have that foundational nutrition that is so sadly lacking from the typical diet today. And best of all, when you do so affordably, you do so without additives, you do so without colors, you do so without any of the other ingredients that we don't want to be burdening our bodies with, and you get to do so affordably. During the shows, I'll be reading charts. I find the two parts of the shows that people, and everyone likes whatever they might like during the shows, but the parts of the shows that get the most response, when I read the reviews, which everyone can feel free to read the reviews. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of reviews on this product. And I believe it's something in the neighborhood of 85% are 5-star reviews. That, as great as this product is, that even is astounding to me. And when you look at the 3, 4, and 5-star reviews, the good, very good, and perfect reviews, when you look at those, I think that's almost 95% of the reviews. So I always say I'm proud of this product, and I could talk till I'm blue in the face, as blue as this shirt, but those reviews are really the objective experience of others. And so often you'll read a review from someone who is a skeptic, who expected to do nothing other than try the product and send it back, because every other multivitamin they ever tried